put a big responsibility on myself now. First of all, I would like to thank you for coming and have this conversation today in this beautiful day, Sunday morning, where many people is think about go outside and enjoy the nature. I already enjoy my nature scene when I drove from Baltimore to here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed as well, because after like many weeks of cold weather, so finally we have like a weekend. Last weekend was good as well, so that we can enjoy nature. And it was already an encouragement for me, for myself, and I hope for you as too. So today, we are not here in the position to teach, but to share information, because as Leah mentioned, we are students. We came to this life, and from the moment we are born until the moment that we are ready to go back to the other side, we are learning. We never know at all. And that's beautiful, because it doesn't put anyone above each other. So we are all here to learn something. And I'm pretty sure that what we're going to talk today is nothing new for you. But I would like to interject a little bit about my learning experience and the experience that I had in studying Spiritism. Spiritism is a science, is a moral science, but also it is a philosophy with religion aspect. We don't like to say that it's a religion, but there is the religion aspect at the moment we become aware about ourselves, about we as a spirit, and our connection with our Creator, that is God. So I sent like 3 or 4 subjects to Abigail and Leah. And so I was not expecting that they chose this one, fraternal encouragement. Because which authority do we have to come and talk about fraternal encouragement? Because sometimes we feel hopeless, isn't it? Some days like we wake up and we think, I don't want to get up. There is something going on in my life. I don't want to face reality. But guess what? That's why we are here, to face reality and to overcome the tribulations that we have in life. That's the way we progress in life. When we see fraternal encouragement, why fraternal? Why, Daniel, why don't you just say encouragement or motivation? You know, this is not about self-motivation speak, because we have big guys over there on TV and radio, talk radio, that is motivating us. We turn the radio in the morning and we listen to those great speakers sometime, we go to the church. But the proposal here is to do this in a friendly way. Because we can do this preaching, okay? You need to do this, you need to do that. But that's not the proposal of Spiritism. And the idea to talk about fraternal encouragement came from this book. This is a collection of small books, although when they put in English, they publish this size. But for those Brazilians that know the original in Portuguese, it's a small book, like a little bit bigger than this one here. And this book was psychographed by the Brazilian Spiritist medium Francisco Cândido Xavier, and was dictated by his spiritual mentor Emmanuel. So there is 4 books, okay? One of them is this one. We call Living in Spring collection. So we have this one in English. We have another one that is called Daily Bread. This is the Living Spring. There is other 2 that I don't think it is in Portuguese, in English yet. So in chapter 7.3, there is this beautiful message here that's called Fraternal Encouragement. And 3 weeks ago, when I was doing my God at home with my family, so I came across of this message. And I said, oh my goodness, this is powerful. I'm not going to read the whole message for you, but I'm going to read 3 paragraphs or 4. So the way the Spirit brought this to Chico, so he started with a quote from the Bible, and then he elaborates based on that quote. And this quote is from Paul, St. Paul, and says, in accord to his riches in glory, my God will meet all your needs through Christ Jesus. So basically said, you know, the all-powerful, the creator, God, the supreme intelligence, whatever you want to call, will help you, will, you know, do whatever he can, his power, to help in whatever situation you need. And then he starts to elaborate saying like this: do not think you are alone in the purifying struggle, for the Lord will meet all your needs. Look up to the Almighty, but from time to time, look behind you. So Emmanuel is telling us that we should look the Almighty, God, but never forget to look back, those that are behind you. Okay? We're going to try to make a point here. If you are in a position to serve, then do so, and then press on. Remember your brothers and sisters who live in indulgence without any results. I'm going to stop here because if I continue, so then it's going to be more on me to try to explain what he's saying. But this 3 paragraph is saying a lot to us. That first, between the lines, Emmanuel is telling us that we are not powerful people, but we have our Father in heaven that is looking after us. But he's expecting that also we stop and look at back or around us and see those that need. So in another word, when we talk about fraternal encouragement, is this invitation, friendly invitation for us, because we just can encourage someone if we have this self-encouragement or self-motivation. We share what we have. We cannot share what we don't have, can we? We cannot. So, and Daniel, I came here this morning to learn how I can do that, how I can motivate myself, and how I can help those that, you know, surround me, my family, my co-work. So the good news is that I hope I can motivate you. But at the end of the day, it's going to be between you and God. Because we are all in this school. We are all students in this school. So, to start our conversation, is good for us to know who we are, okay? Are we only this body? Where we come from? What are you doing here? I'm a completer. Completer in Spiritism means those that come to this life and fulfill the task, okay? And we learn through the books of André Luiz that at least like majority of us don't complete the task. What is he talking about? You know, each one of us has I would say mission, a task to come here and to evolve, to progress. And this is not, you know, it's personal, okay? So we need to find what we are here for. And when we look ourselves, our life, and our society, we see a lot of suffering. We see a lot of struggle. When we do a survey, when we sit in front of the TV and the computer to read the news, there is a lot of suffering over there. And then we ask the question, why? What is God? Why we need to endure this suffering? Why there is a lot of evil out there? So, what's going on? We are in the middle of this game. Sometimes we cannot withdraw and look at what we see suffering everywhere. But luckily we have a lot of people that is seeing beauty in this planet and see progress in this planet. And sometimes when we look at our life and we feel this lack of hope and we don't see explanation right here why this thing happened, then we need to turn our eyes to the other side and look for other options. And in Spiritism, in the Gospel according to Spiritism, there is a chapter called Blessed Are the Afflicted. And this chapter, Allan Kardec elaborates the cause of our suffering, personal and collective. There is a current cause of our suffering, and there is prior causes of our suffering. And the way we can see the prior cause of our suffering, or the past cause, we need to bring here a subject that is not accepted for majority of people in our planet. But in Spiritism, we use this to explain the cause of our suffering. And one of these principles we call reincarnation. There is no way we can understand why we have this variety of suffering in our planet, in our personal life, if we don't at least consider the possibility that we had a past life. How can we explain a mother that loved her daughter or her son be murdered by someone, irresponsible? What is God in that moment? How do we understand September 11? Many people, I remember I was in the university, many people was asking, what is God in that moment that let this happen? Well, when we happen here, we feel the pain, but our people die every day in another part of our country, and we enjoy our comfortable here, and we have no idea sometimes. Those people over there is asking, what is God? Probably is. But the Spiritism comes and gives to us this new glass to see things in a different way. Instead of being here complaining about the Creator and His creation, because when we complain about His creation, we are telling Him that He doesn't know what to do with, and this is kind of pride and selfish. I used to tell my friends that complain a lot about weather. If it is too cold, then complains a lot. If it's snow, complain. If it is too hot, complains. So look, we should complain in things that we can change. There is certain thing in nature or in this universe that we cannot change. We cannot change the position of the moon if we have, not yet. When we become pure spirit, we have some condition to manipulate, to build planet. But right now, there is things that we cannot change. So learn how to accept, to suffer less. Going back to the reincarnation. So in Spiritism, we learn that the reincarnation process has a plan. We don't fall here in this body by chance. Oh, Daniel, you don't know my story. I come from a family that was an accident. First of all, there is no accident in the creation. Our human view of the creation, the universe, is so limited that we wanted to tell God that He's made mistake. You don't know my father. You don't know my mother. I'm telling you what we listen when we talk to people. I came from a broken family. That's why I'm this way. That's why I have this anger. That's why I need to go and, treat people this way and that way, because I didn't have the mother at home. Well, this might play a component in our life. So we are finding excuses for our still not evolved soul, okay? But that's fine. We are in the process of learning. I'm bringing all this because in order to have the self-motivation and to be able to encourage others and encourage a society, our group, our school, we need to understand the mechanism, why things happen. You don't go and, put a car apart or dismount this computer if you don't know how to put it back. So it's better know the mechanism of thing than you find the solution later. Jesus said, know the truth, and truth will set you free. Will set you free. Why he did complete that sentence? So what is the truth? He said, no. You're gonna look at it for the truth. God create and put laws, and you want to learn. So a lot of his teaching, it was from the point of view of a professor, a teacher. They don't give the answer for what they are telling. They give the possibility, and we need to look at it. So in Spiritism, when we are ready to come back, and we have many lives, in this life, I'm 45 years old. Only in this life. Probably I've been like, I don't know, 4,000 years old. You know, if you look back in history, you know, when the first human species, 8,000 years ago appeared, 10,000 years we start to build community and get together in village. You know, 4,000 years we brought, you know, the scripture. We learn how to speak, we create language. And nowadays we are here in this environment with computer, everything so cozy and warm. 10,000 years ago was not like this. We are running to survive, you know, but we are in this process of evolution. Now, so 45 years ago, I was born, and you can also ask yourself how many years you have. I'm not going to ask your age. It's not polite. I learned that. So, but as spiritists, we don't hide our age because we know we are much more than just the body age, because this is the physical body age, 45 years. So probably 46 years, 47 years, I was having this meeting with my spirit guide, okay? And decide what's gonna be the plan, what I have to accomplish. When we come here in the new life, there is two things we do. 3, we come to learn how to serve, to redress previous mistake, and to progress, to be put in new challenge, okay? New challenge. Then what is the new challenge? Or maybe you're not gonna marry someone that is troublemaker, and you need to exercise your patience. You're gonna have a husband that is, I don't know, alcoholic, and probably you need to work with him to, help to raise your kids. I don't know which is gonna be your mission, your task. My task, I think I already grasped it after, some challenge, and so, but this is personal. So, and how do you know? You need to give some time for reflection. So to really give this inner, the inner journey, the inner trip to find out what we have to do it. And sometimes this is through hardship, through difficult situation. And then you need to retreat yourself and do this reflection in prayer. Lord, oh my guardian angel, my spiritual guide, I'm in the right path here? Did I make the right choice? And sometimes the answer doesn't come like yes, no. Sometimes we need time to find the answer. Sometimes during the sleep, the dream, they come and they tell us, they warning us. They say, hey, maybe that decision you are thinking to make is not a good decision. We need to open our mind for the influence of our guardian angel. So, to motivate someone is a big responsibility, because we can motivate to the positive, but we can motivate to the negative. It's like intelligence. Intelligence has everything in the universe has two sides, right, left, up and down. Dark and bright. It's the duality, the universal duality. This is acceptable. So we need to be careful, because there is a lot of people out there that are motivating us to the wrong thing. How do I know? How do we know that the suggestion that someone is giving to you, it is the good suggestion? And sometimes we are under the water, we are in a situation that we cannot even reason, and we accept that suggestion. Later on, realize that was not a good decision. That's okay. You know what happens when you drive the highway and there is this accident and there is a sign says road is blocked? What happened? Majority of the time there is a police car blinking if it is during the night or during the day, and there is a yellow sign that says D2, isn't it? D2. That's what we do. We do D2 and then we find our way. What cannot happen is that when we realize that we made the decision that was motivated by a encouragement, a help or support of someone, we become stuck and then we complain. That's not the purpose to be here and to progress. There is one thing that when we reincarnated is a big gift we receive from God. This we call life. Life is like a big gift. It's like, let's translate this to material thing. If life worth 1 pound of diamond. Diamond is very expensive, isn't it? It's more expensive than gold, isn't it? I think. You know, I don't use, so I don't know how much, you know. So let's think, let's put this in a material way. Diamond is worth 1 pound. That would be like, I don't know, $1 billion. This is our life. And sometimes we are complaining, we are put, like my family, my parent, my school. That's okay. It is a component that played a role in your life, and now you have this new life because you know was a little thing that was not done well, the education you had. But this is just 1 gram of gold. So now you need to see what you're going to put our life. In the 1 pound that God gave to you, that's the life, or 1 gram that was not given to you because it was the responsibility of your parent, of the society, of your school. So sometimes we're stuck in the small thing. Let's stuck in the big thing, the thing that's worth the most, that is our life. So when we stop over there, in the D2, we cannot stay over there. We need to think about where we're going to go. What's my mission? Is to raise our kids, is to take care of my grandchildren, help my neighborhood, my community. We need to have this sense of goals in life. Otherwise, we get stuck. So, in the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 5, this chapter that I mentioned, Blessed are the Afflicted, he mentioned about the prior and the current cause of a creation. So I just make some drawing here to understand why we go through difficulties in our life, and we're supposed to. We are not here in a vacation, in a good time. No, we're not. We came to this life because first we are not perfect, and we need to progress. We go to school, we don't expect to go to school and have recess all the time. We have 5 minutes of recess, isn't it? And the other, 5-6 hours, we need to be in class, be learning, testing, and every week you have like a quiz, and every month we have a test. So this is our present life. This is right now, okay? And the way we are here, because we are product of many events that happens in this lifetime, but are also in previous life. So we had a past, and we have a future. So I would put dot light over there because the future, we're going to make the future. Chico Xavier, the medium that psychographed this book, he often says when he was incarnate that we cannot change the past, but we can start now to make a better future. We cannot change. But I add a little bit, but we can learn from our past, not to make the same mistake to our future. So our life is basically like this. Is this result of several events from this current life, the decision we made in this current life, and those that we are not fully aware from the past life. So in psychology, they say that the iceberg, isn't it? We have our conscious that is like 10%, and we have 90% of subconscious that we don't know. Freud was the one that brought this concept and explained like our conscious in 3 levels, our mind, 3 levels. The basement, the floor, and the super conscious. We're not going to go to psychology. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't want to touch much in this area. But we all know, we learned this in school, psychology 101, college, it's out there, Google, so we know all this information. So in Spiritism, we say that this 90% is all the baggage, all the experience we have been lived in previous incarnation. How many reincarnations we had? We don't know. And it doesn't matter. It's not important. What is important today, because whatever I do in this incarnation, this is the most important reincarnation. If I have like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 reincarnations, it's not important anymore. What is important is this one, what I'm going to do with this one. So, now we have traumas that was originating in this lifetime that we can recognize and we can treat because we have professionals over there that can help us. But also there is some traumas or some events in our life that there is no explanation. We cannot find the cause in this lifetime. So we need to open our mind for the possibility that this cause rely or was happening in previous reincarnation. Now what to do with this? Well, we're going to see it. So for example, when you look at the past, or when you look at the future, psychologists say that if we live too much in the future, we create anxiety. And the anxiety is what? When we become anxious, when we don't have control, isn't it? I don't know what's going to happen. I have to take this test, or we need to go to this interview, and we create that anxiety. I need to go to the Abigail Spirit Center or the Spirit Society of North Beach. I'm driving and create some anxiety. Oh my goodness, what is this? I mean, like, a little anxiety is good. Bring to you a sense of responsibility. If you tell that you don't have anxiety, you are not afraid of anything, you are going against the creation. Because since we evolved from the other kingdom, we have this, sense of protection, survive. And the anxiety, the fearful mode is good to keep us alert. Okay? Now, what cannot happen is we cannot panic. Panic is already a medical condition, then is already lack of control completely. So, anxiety is when we live too much in the future. Too much in the future. And we need to observe ourselves. Which kind of life we are living? Are we living the present, or are we living the future? I'm living next week, what I'm going to do next week. And Daniel, I don't want to send a wrong message between live too much in the future and planning. We need to plan our life. We need to have short, middle, and long-term accomplishment, long-term plan. So this is different. So anxiety is when you observe that you are too much in the future. And nowadays there is something that we call iPhone, cell phone, smartphone. I have one over there. That, majority of the time when I go out with friends, they always put her cell phone, iPhone, and start to text. And we don't enjoy the time because they are now live not in the future, but live a virtual current time. Because they are here, but the mind is over there. I'm not against this. I think we need to use those tools because it's part of our progress, but with moderation. Everything that's too much becomes a problem. Even water. If you drink water too much, tell me what's going to happen. It's not good. So, I mean, like, it's not, I mean, I say too much mean like, in a point that you might be in trouble. Now, if we're going to go to the past, I mean, if live too much in the future could be anxiety, live too much in the past make us depressed because it's the opposite of this line that is our life. So we might feel depressed. And it is okay to have those nostalgic moments, okay? But what determines the condition or the medical condition, the clinical condition that we call depression nowadays, is how long we stay in that mind, in that situation. So I just wanted to bring a little bit the cause of this. That is the clinical cause of depression. I'm not going to go too deep on this. But one thing that makes us feel a lot of depressed is attachment, So attachment is something that we are still learning how to deal with. I'm talking here about material attachment. Okay, when we have that wish to have things, and then when we get those wish fulfilled, and because that thing is material, it's gonna decompose, it's gonna, finish, we feel sad. And the duration of this might become a problem. If we are too much in buying new car, new house, and then you live in the future, but then you lose, and when you lose, you feel so attached to that. So we need to balance this. So this makes us sometimes, really miss our opportunity in our life. The other thing that we can identify that makes us a little bit in this nostalgic moment is the fantasy. Fantasy means it's that doctrine of if. Sometimes we find ourselves, what would be my life if I have married that boyfriend or girlfriend? We all have this moment that we keep asking, what would be our life if I had not moved to the US for those that are immigrant here? And some people, believe it or not, some people there spend a lot of time on this. And life is move on. And then we feel nostalgic, we feel depressed. So the fantasy, I know we put the fantasy here, the doctrine of if, it is good if we take that moment to learn with some decision we made that was not so good decision. But it's a part of the past. We cannot change anymore. We cannot change. And then what we do with someone that comes to you, a friend, and needs some encouragement, and come with this complaint or sad because, I married this person, probably I should not have married this person. Well, there is one thing that we learn when we become a spirit. In Spiritism, we believe that we are created simple and ignorant, means with no, simple and ignorant, with no knowledge, no experience, and then we are put in this planet or other planets in the universe, and we go to different kingdom. This spiritual principle one day is become a spirit. And when we become a spirit, there is two faculty that we acquire that is different for other kingdom. One we call free will. The other one, conscience, reason. We are not saying that the animal doesn't have intelligence. They have intelligence. It's fragmented intelligence. If you see a dog, if you see a cat, if you see any animal in nature, they have kind of intelligence that guide them. But majority, they are moved with the impulse, with, what is a name for this? Instinct. They are moved by instinct. That we have instinct. But now when we become a spirit, we receive I would say, a big gift. That is the free will and the reason. Now, if we say that God is the supreme intelligence, the first cause of all things, He knows everything. He is the supreme intelligence. There is no other intelligence big than God's itself. Now, He promotes us with this full-time intelligence that we have, the reason, the capacity that we have to reason. And in that moment, we receive another task in the creation. We become responsible for the creation. Because now, we can call ourselves co-creator. So we are not more in the other kingdom that we just come here to survive and to help the progress of the planet, of nature. We are here now with a task that we acquired based on God's wish as a co-creator. Being a co-creator brings to us a big responsibility to help in the progress of the planet, as also we help in our own progress. There is something that we often say. We say, we make mistake because we are human. We need to change that. We need to change this sentence. We make mistake because we are human. And we should say, we are human because we still make mistakes. Did you see the difference? Okay, I'm going to say again, because it's very tricky. So, we are human, then we make mistake. Okay? But if we say, we make mistake, then we are humans, it's different. So we are not justifying that it is okay to make mistake because we are human. The day we stop to make mistake, automatically, we are not in the human kingdom. We're going to be in the angelic kingdom. So we define us as humans is because we still make mistake. The moment we stop to make mistake, we are perfect. It's tricky, isn't it? Go home and think about it, because it took a lot of time to understand it. It's the way we say things. Okay? In Portuguese, it's beautiful. I know how to say this in Portuguese very well. In English, I struggle to, but it makes sense.